So I think this idea of holding something as too sacred, too pure is problematic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So there are a whole lot of hands there. I will leave it to the volunteers to decide who to give the mic.
Mr. Kapoor, I've been hearing you tell us how you've hacked and massacred the work of Shakespeare. You have your body of work and he has his body of work. As a creative person, how would you rate your body of work to the body of work of William Shakespeare?
I'm a nobody. Shakespeare is somebody whose work has remained 400 years after his death. I mean, what are we talking about? I don't know if anybody will remember me after 5 years, so there is no comparison. Shakespeare is one of I think the greatest people in the last 1,000 years as an artist. I'm a fool, but I'm not that big a fool.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Kapoor.
compare myself to Shakespeare.
Yes. Well, could you please bring it here? Okay. There is...
Sir, I want to ask you that what inspired you to become a filmmaker?
Why did I become a filmmaker?
What inspired you to become a filmmaker?
I am not sure, but I remember very clearly that when I was 16, I knew I'm going to be a filmmaker. And I did not know theatre at that time at all. Theatre came into my life quite accidentally when I had gone to learn French at Alliance Française, and they had a small theatre troupe there, and I was 21 by that time. So theatre came quite late into my life, but cinema came very early. I think my father was a little bit of a film buff, so he would go out and watch films, and not just the regular films, but he would watch the National Award winning films, and he would take us. So I remember when I was 13 years old, going to watch Manikal's Duvidha with my dad. Not many people go and watch a Manikal film, but our father did, and he took us along. So all these things may have made some impact. So by the age of 16, certain I'm going to make films. I didn't know how, I didn't know what should I do to be a filmmaker. I didn't know that FTI existed. So these things happen slowly, but I was sure one day I'll be making films.
Thank you.
Yes, hurry up, please ask.
A quick question to both Raj Saab and Rajat. Does it ever bother you that all the plays it's suspected sometimes are not written by Shakespeare, or it doesn't matter when you pick up a play by Shakespeare?
All the plays, there are many claims. Shakespeare did not write them. Marlowe helped him in some plays.
Who knows? Who knows? It doesn't.
Good.
It doesn't matter. Whoever wrote them, they're great plays. Doesn't matter.
I would like to kind of join with my friend here, who declared that Shakespeare's body of work and the dead body of work which Rajat has created. And then the question with which our anchor Surabhi started, the bastardization of Shakespeare. Number one, let me quote Shakespeare himself from King Lear. Therefore the bastard. Therefore the bastard, when I was created in a moment of ecstasy, and not in the sleeping bed of a married couple. I mean, I'm not quoting him exactly, but when Edmund talks about his own being, that wherefore the bastard. So number one, when he creates his things in ecstasy, and that, does anybody know how really Shakespeare was done? There are only some conjectures based on some accounts. So what purity of a Shakespeare performance that we are talking about? It's like saying Ramayana was bastardized by Kamban, and then our own Tulsi Das, and then our own Guru Govind Singh in Punjabi, etc., etc., sir. They were not bastardizing the Ramayana. They were giving rebirth according to their own times. So in the same way, a director like him, or a director like Professor Visaria, they have a right to interpret and do Shakespeare the way they would like to do it today. And there's nothing called a pure Shakespeare. There's nothing called that Ramayana dies with Valmiki. Everybody has given a new birth to Ramayana. Same way, every director has a right to give new births to Shakespeare like them. So congratulations and hats off to you.
Okay, I have a strange feeling I'm not going to emerge out of this alive. So whoever can speak to my family, please tell them I love them. Okay, so I should mind before throwing big words. Okay, any more questions we have? Yes.
So, some people are born great and some achieve greatness. So, these are some of the quotes which Shakespeare has given us in his legacy. Sir, are there any quotes which have deeply inspired you the most?
Quotes that have inspired you. Shakespeare quotes, naturally.
I just did a whole fool thing, yeah. That is the most inspiring. You know, the funny thing is, because we have turned the text around so much, I only remember my version of Shakespeare. I don't even remember what Shakespeare wrote.
Yes.
Sir, what inspired you to make film on Shakespearean drama?
What inspired me to?
To make film
How
on
did you
Shakespearean
start
drama?
working with Shakespeare?
Huh?
How did you start working with him?
I said my first interaction was Taming of the Shrew translation, and Hamlet is a play that I'd always wanted to do. So I didn't think that I'll be doing a series of Shakespeare plays. And then, you know, like I said, I'm no expert on Shakespeare. I don't know anything, but I just take a play at a time and then try and discover the play. For me, I think it's part of educating myself to see the works of a great playwright that I'm not familiar with. So my way of familiarizing myself is actually doing it. I think that's the best way of understanding the text.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So if there are no questions, okay, we'll take one quick question. Or maybe two.
Hello, sir. I want to ask if you want to adapt any other playwright instead of, you are planning to adapt any other playwright instead of Shakespeare.
Sorry, no, I can't understand. Say it without the mic.
Which other playwright would you adapt? This is what you wanted to know, no?
I don't know. I've not read that much. If there is a... See, what also is happening is that there's a dearth of good playwriting now. You know, I'm sure people will tell me that this play, that play, but it's one-off thing, you know. We're not seeing texts which are as inspiring or as motivating as some of this. So for now, I'm okay with Shakespeare. I'm not going to do any new play for the next 2-3 years because right now we have 4 plays running and we're traveling a lot with that. But if you're writing, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
I would like to end with the words. I'm sorry.
विराजें तो मना कर दीजिएगा। आधे पौन घंटे से यहाँ क्या हो रहा है भाई, मेरे तो कान में ही नहीं आया। मैंने पिछले 2 नाटक किए और एक नाटक किया सुकरात का, सोक्रेटिस के बारे में। लोगों ने समझा कि उनके फलसफा वगैरह वगैरह, वो तो मैंने किया ही, लेकिन मैंने इसलिए किया चूँकि मुझे बड़ी पुरानी मोहब्बत है, चूँकि वो बाएं कान में बहरे थे और मैं भी बाएं कान में बह रहा हूँ। आज पहली बार महसूस किया कि मैं दोनों कानों में बह रहा हूँ। इतनी अच्छी बातें करी आपने, और अल्लाह क्या अच्छी बातें आप लोगों ने करी। और मेरे जवान टीचर यहाँ बैठे हैं, अतुल भाई, उनने करी। भाई मेरी तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, मैंने सुना ही नहीं, न सवाल न जवाब। तो आज का गुनाहगार मैं नहीं हूँ, और आपको भी मौका मिले और कोई चॉइस हो तो वहाँ मत बैठिएगा, यहाँ आ जाइएगा, ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा। वैसे भी स्टेज पे लोग डाउन स्टेज यूज़ करते हैं, मैं समझा मैं शेक्सपियरियन एक्टर हूँ पुराने ज़माने का, अप स्टेज करूँगा सबको, तो मैं आउट ऑफ द स्टेज हो गया। एक और बात मैं आपसे कहूँ कि जब मैं एक्टर हुआ करता था आज से 100 साल पहले, अंग्रेज़ी और हिंदी में, तो डर होता था कि अगर ऑडियंस डेड होगी, गोया उसका कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं होगा, तो मैं स्टेज पे क्या क्लाउनिंग करूँगा। आज मैंने महसूस किया कि ये तो आधा जवाब है, आधा सवाल है। ऑडियंस इतनी वाइब्रेंट हो, एक्टर इतना अच्छा हो, और ये को एक्टर पीछे बैठा इतना डेड महसूस करे। तो ये भी थिएटर का तजुर्बा है जो किताबों में नहीं होगा। शुक्रिया, खुदा हाफिज, सलाम।
Thank you so much, Dr. Raj Pisaria. I would just like to end with the words, and I think Rajat would agree. The French poet Lautréamont said, of Shakespeare, of course, chaque fois que je Shakespeare, il m'a semblé que je déchiquetais la cervelle d'un jaguar. Every time I read Shakespeare, it seems to me that I am hacking a jaguar's brains to bits. So with those very, very bloody and gory words, we end this session before I get hacked to pieces. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you, Surbhi. That was a very interesting session. Thank you so much. And I would like Mr. Bisaria to felicitate Mr. Rajat Kapoor on behalf of Lucknow Expressions team. A big round of applause for Mr. Rajat Kapoor and Mr. Raj Pisaria. And I would like to invite the Lucknow Expressions core team to be on stage for the group picture. The Lucknow Expressions core team.
Thank you very much. Thank you. क्या बात है? आइए बिसारी साहब, फोटो
चेक बाद में मिलेगा। Isn't she nice and tall and slim? That's what actors should be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheerio.
What a sport you are, sir. What a sport.
Thank you so much, everybody.